down to having those fundamentals that you take the time in these sessions and practices to get them. And then in practices, it's just time to show off what you're doing in the games. But it really happens here, so, and for sure. The higher level you go, the stronger the fundamentals are of the players. Tom wanted me to talk about 2-on-1s a little bit too.
Yep.
Right? So I'll give you my spiel. Again, I don't want to offend anybody if it's too basic. But I'll just tell you my thoughts on the 2-on-1. Essentially, as a defenseman, without offending the forwards, it's pretty easy to control the forwards coming down. You give them what you want to give them. You dictate where they're going to go. Most of the time, they're going to go. Right? If I'm playing a 2-on-1, what I like to see if I'm a defenseman, I like to have one in the middle of the ice, and I like to have the player going wide. And I like him to drive the puck wide. If they drive that puck wide, I take away this pass, and by taking away this pass, the longer I take it away, the deeper this player will get. And in most times, and you watch the National Hockey League too, you know, the guys who are scorers, they become a threat off this wing, and they drive the net, and they make a tough decision for the defenseman. But most of the time, and a lot of the NHL guys will take it, they want to make that pass, and they run themselves out of a quality scoring chance. They might end up shooting from the side. But most of the time, you'll find, defensemen, if you take away this middle pass, and by taking it away, you're going to stand about here, give them lots of room on the outside, that influences this forward to hang on to the puck as long as they feel comfortable. So they'll hang on to it. Right? If you squeeze over and play right in between these two guys, well, if you're a forward, what's your decision? There's two of us coming down here. The middle is obviously more dangerous than the outside. So if you're playing in the middle, I'm going to move the puck here because that's my best chance of scoring. But if the defenseman takes that away, takes his shoulder away, keeps his puck on this stick here, what's going to happen is the puck's going to stay to the outside longer. A couple things happen. This route isn't direct to the net. It's wide and like this. You got time for back pressure to come for your back checkers coming down. So this 2-on-1 could easily turn into a 2-on-2 by doing that. The other thing is, the later you drive this, well, let me back up a second. So I like to take this pass away as long as I can. This forward at some point, and they're smart, they're going to drive the net and try to score. Take this pass away as long as you can until this player becomes more dangerous than this one, or a better way to say it is until this person's got a great shot at the goal. At that point, as a defenseman, you're going to have to turn and play this player. If you turn and play it, take your stick, put it in that passing lane to try to do everything you can to keep this pass from coming back, and then go pressure this puck. Right? So basically what you're doing is you're going to take away the most dangerous player all the way down the ice. And it's out here at the blue line, the most dangerous player is a person in the middle. And as you get close and this person drives the net and has a real opportunity to score, all of a sudden they have the puck. Now they become the most dangerous player. So if you're going to come up with a bit of a philosophy, you're going to take away the most dangerous player that you can. And most of the ice, all the way down to here, is going to be the lane in the middle. But at some point, if this player is going to drive the net, they're going to become the most dangerous player. And depending on the quality of this player, that point might be out here, or if they're not much of a scorer, if they've got hands like I do, it's going to be right here before I go to them. Right? Yep.
So what if the person with the puck is coming down the middle and the second attacker is coming on the boards?
You'd like to play that, if that's the scenario, you'd like to try to greet them up the blue line, which is going to keep this player at least out here. Right? So if you play them tight right here, they're going to probably make that pass right away. Right? If they don't, if he hangs on to this, at least, right, you're going to have to play him tight here. Right? It'll probably influence the pass outside, which then sets you back up to where you would normally be.
Okay.
But you can't give them this lane here to the net by backing off. So you'll have to tighten it up for sure. Right? I don't know, any other questions, any other comments, Tom, or stuff you wanted me to cover off?
Well, what if they're just coming down and you're straight in the middle, one's on each side, inside the dot?
So you got a player here, and a player here. You use a philosophy I just extolled. You'll be in the middle at this point, right? But as they come in here, And it is a rare 2-on-1, but it certainly does happen. At some point, when you think this player is going to be too dangerous for that shot, you're going to have to play him. You're going to have to play him. You play him earlier than you would if they're driving off the wall. Because once again, they're starting to get in that area where they can score. So when you do this, when you're caught in this bind, again, you put your stick, right? You're going to find a left-handed stick. I'm throwing it in that passing lane as I go over to. I'm going to make it a tough pass to go to, because that's where they're going to try to go, right? Because I'm going to go take their time and space away over here. They're either going to shoot it right away or they're going to try to throw that pass back. So the most dangerous point of that, in my mind, is if that pass gets back. So you have to leave your stick in that lane and then go pressure the puck carrier. Of course, if that puck does get through, you got to spin off it and you're playing a 2-on-1 again underneath. Right? You take your steps over here to the puck carrier. If that puck goes back, you just have to spin and come right back. And you're playing your 2-on-1 underneath again. Now, if you're in the same boat, you got to play this guy again. If he might take it wide, then you can settle out and play him more normal again.
Okay, TJ, what do you do after they shoot?
After they shoot? On a 2-on-1? Well, if they come in here and take this shot here, the first thing you're going to do is look for which stick is most dangerous. If the puck is there, it's a bonus, but you got to make sure you got to go after their sticks first, because a lot of times that puck is laying right behind your feet. If you take the time to look for it, you're in a lot of trouble. Read their eyes, lift up their stick, maybe lift up the second stick, and don't let them get to that puck.
And hope your back checker gets there quick.
Well, you know what, and again, if you can stall out these 2-on-1s by leaving that puck carrier wide, 3-on-1's the same thing, right? The longer, if you can influence that puck carrier to be real comfortable over here with the puck, then that gives your back checkers all kinds of time to come back. And that's part of what you're there for, right? Deflect the rush too wide, let these guys run out of space, and let your back checkers come back. If it's a 3-on-1, let them pick up that top guy, then you only have to take this far pass across.
But TJ, we spent 1 minute on a 3-on-1 and another minute on a 3-on-2, because on 3-on-2s, both Eagle get wide people and let our team and let the player walk in, which isn't what we should be doing.
I'll give you my philosophy on a 3-on-1. They're going to they're going to attack in a triangle on a 3-on-1. If they don't, they're making it easy for you. They're going to try to spread you out. And again, you're hoping you got back pressure. All of these things, if you got back pressure, even if the back checker is 15 feet behind the last player coming up the ice, they know they're coming, and they got to keep skating in straight lines. It gets to be a real difficult thing if these forwards can start doing this thing. So if you're a back checker coming back and you don't think you can catch them, you're still making a difference as to how the defensemen are going to play it. It's way easier to play these guys in straight lines coming at the net than it is if they've got time to make these cuts through the middle. So that's just my general comment on back checking to start with. 3-on-1, generally you're going to see a attack triangle. You're generally going to see the puck is going to be outside. You're going to have a player come off here and a player going back post. As you're coming through, well, it's going to develop inside the blue line when they get into their triangle, but your job is really this one. You want to take this low pass away. Take this low pass away. You got your goalie on this side of the net. If this pass comes back up to the slot, your goalie has to move from here to here. Not a tremendous, right? They're like here watching that shot on the side. They just have to do one shuffle and then they're lined up with the shot coming from here. The one that's going to kill them is if this puck gets through back post, it's going to be a really hard save to make going back post. So defensemen, take this pass away first. Now, when this pass comes back out, the way I played it, I threw my stick in this passing lane and then went and rushed them. If I keep this pass from coming back here, what's left is this pass back to the outside. If they're going to take that quick shot, guess what? The goalie just has to take one shuffle back. Not a tough play by any means. Right? If these guys are over on this side and they can move that puck back and forth, the goalie doesn't have to move very much. Again, take this away, take that passing lane away and go and pressure that puck. And most of the time, again, forwards are not going to be ready for a defenseman that knows exactly what they want to do on that puck. That's 3-on-1. Tough 3-on-1, really tough 3-on-1, doesn't happen much, is if that middle guy gets the puck and has time and space, right? So again, I mean, then now you got a guy over here and a player over here, and if you're, I mean, again, the only way they can get in this position is if they've had no back pressure at all. So they've got the luxury of having this middle guy come in here with the puck and these guys go down the side, and that's tough. And if you're stuck in that point, at some point when this player, you got to back off, when they get to be dangerous, take one lane away, whether it's this one or this one, and you got to go pressure, and you keep your feet moving and come over if you have to. But you're really swimming. You put yourself, or your teammates have put yourself in a tough position on the 3-on-1 if this middle player has a puck with time and they've been able to enter the zone slow.
And that's why if you're a first back checker, you can never change on the go. And if you're tired, the last back checker can come off, but you can't leave the D hanging like that.
Okay, 3-on-2. Again, use the same example. So you got a puck here with the puck wide. You got a guy sitting up high here and a person going back post. Defenseman here, most dangerous player on the ice in my mind is this player back post. I'll put the left defenseman on him. Right defenseman is going to be in this position here. Right, you're going to be in this. As they get lower, you can actually, you don't have to be quite even with them. You can actually even come up here. But you have to know that if he drives the net, that you're going to be able to cut him off there. And so what happens is as they bring this play deeper and deeper into the zone, you start off here, but you can actually get higher than this player, just knowing that you're going to meet him if they do drive the net. What they just about invariably do is going to make that pass back. When they make that pass back, your feet are already going, your stick goes in this lane because this pass is already taken care of, and you go and pressure them.
So girls, you don't just cover the wide players and let that player walk in. So the far side plays a 1-on-1, and the puck side, you're playing a 2-on-1, basically. Okay?
Yep.
And jam that player.
Take their pass away and go pressure them right now.
Stick in that passing lane and jam them. Okay? Let's go the same drill, but we'll go 2-on-1 this time. Okay?